Every year, around 100,000 visitors descend on this county simply to mess about on boats. Where am I? Join me in a moment to find out. On today's show, I'll be trying to help a couple find a property to fit 3 generations of the same family. Grandma gets almost as much space as you do.
Grandma would really like this.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with this.
I think the kids would love
this.
this.
The kids, definitely, yeah. They'd fight over this one, though.
And our mystery house challenges them to think really big. You've given up on vocabulary now, haven't you?
I don't need to say it. It's absolutely
Bit of a whistle.
Yeah.
superb.
Today I'm in Norfolk on the world-famous Broads, which lie about a metre below sea level. And all the rivers that flow through here are tidal, so they're at sea level, all of which means this area is at constant risk of flooding. So later on in the show, I'll be finding out about a conservation project which aims to keep the sea at bay. Forming the largest part of the East Anglian coastline, Norfolk's remote beaches and low-lying hinterland are defining features of its landscape. The 117 square miles of protected wetland that make up the Broads are earmarked as an area of outstanding natural beauty, which, although a haven for a wide species of birds, has been shaped by man-made activity that spans centuries. It was the Romans who first excavated this area's rich peat beds for fuel. In the Middle Ages, these peat pits flooded when sea levels rose. Today, it's a site kept buoyant by 7 million visitors, who bring in £414 million to Norfolk's economy. Yet this county has a very undeveloped feel, which is reflected in its architecture, with traditional materials of brick and napped flint giving local buildings their distinctive look. Just under £215,000 is what you can expect to pay for the typical detached house here in Norfolk. Now that's some £42,000 less than the national average. However, we are in the Broads, and this area has the same protected status as a national park. So properties here are in high demand but short supply. There are only 3,016 properties within the boundaries of the Broads. And for any one of them, you can expect to pay up to 50% more than for the same property elsewhere in the county. So with that in mind, here's a selection of what's currently on the market. £295,000 will buy you this 5-bedroom barn conversion in South Birmingham, with character vaulted ceilings a running theme throughout its main living areas. If thatch is more your style, then look no further than this Grade 2 listed cottage in Aldborough. On the market for £425,000, it's been sympathetically renovated, with roof beams an eye-catching feature of one of its 3 bedrooms. And outside offers a generous 1-acre garden. Or if you can dig deep, there's this handsome 4-bedroom detached house in Porringland, priced at £625,000. Its living areas include an impressive conservatory, which overlooks the 1 acre of grounds. Some great houses there, and of course we've got 3 more tucked up our sleeves to show today's buyers. All we need to do now is meet them. Julie and Ian have lived in their 4-bedroom detached property in Crook, County Durham, with their 2 children for the past 11 years. Although they both grew up in the area, Julie's father passed away last year, and that, along with Ian's imminent retirement from the police force, has propelled them to make the move down to Norfolk, as it's an area that's close to their hearts.
We're looking at Norfolk because we have enjoyed holidays on the Norfolk Broads, and that's something we want to do, get a boat when we're down there, cruising on the Broads. But somewhere that's not too far away from Suffolk, so it's on the Suffolk side of Norfolk. I've got a sister there, and for my mother, obviously she wants access, she wants to be able to visit a sister on a regular basis.
In fact, Julie's mother Jean is also selling up, and investing in their next family home.
Well, I would like to move with Julie and Ian to Norfolk so that I would be with the grandchildren all the time, and I would like an annexe that would be adjoining the house.
Besides finding a country home which can accommodate Grandma, Ian and Julie also have a clear list of criteria we need to factor in.
We would be looking for a house with a rural setting, with lots of space around it, you know, in the countryside, ideally on the Broads, and the house ideally would have 4 or 5 bedrooms, a large kitchen diner.
We do like character features, but we also like modern, so it's going to be a combination of a character property with modern in there as well.
And Julie has a fixed idea of what she wants outside.
I've got a small vegetable plot, but the size is somewhat limited, and I'm looking for something possibly up to about 1 acre of land so I can grow the vegetable plot on a much grander scale.
Ian and Julie recently put their house on the market for £250,000. And that, combined with the sale of Jean's property, means they know exactly how much they have to spend.
The ideal budget for this house move would be around about £540,000, but if it was the absolute dream home, we could probably go to about £580,000.
How many of us have dreamt of permanently moving to our favourite holiday destination but never done anything about it? Most of us, I suspect, but not Ian and Julie. What with Ian's decision to take early retirement and the family deciding that Grandma should move with them too, this family's dream of moving to Norfolk is finally becoming a reality, and it's up to us to help make that dream come true. Ian and Julie are keen to find a property that puts them within striking distance of the Broads so that they can live out their dream of a boaty lifestyle. However, their criteria might mean we have to edge our way over the Suffolk border. We've lined up 3 fantastic houses for them to look at, but as ever, I won't be revealing the price of each until they've had a guess first. Our final offering will be the mystery house, which will give them much more than they bargained for. Good morning, you two.
Hello.
Welcome to sunny Norfolk. Now, you've only just retired, haven't you? A couple of weeks?
I have, so I'm still adjusting to retired life.
I suppose this feels like a holiday again, then?
It is.
It certainly is, yes, it's lovely.
Well, isn't that the dream for the two of you, to turn what was, or has been, your holiday home into your real home?
Definitely, yes. It's the waterways and the sailing and the boats down here. Our kids love it, so it's the way of life.
Well, I think things are looking pretty good because you're both selling your houses, Grandma
Yes.
and you, which means you've got a pretty good budget, haven't we? We've got
We have, I think so,
540?
Yeah.
Round about that, yeah.
Willing to go up to?
Yes, about 580 if we had to.
Oh, we've got a lot to cover there, but don't
Yes.
worry, we have got 3 great properties. You've given me a great budget, so let's get house hunting.
Fantastic, thank you.
Ian and Julie have a budget of £540,000, although they would consider going up to £580,000 for the right house. As well as being detached, they would like a property which mixes old with new. More specifically, they need a large kitchen diner in which the family can congregate, 4 bedrooms, an annexe for Julie's mum, 1 acre of land, and it needs to be located close to the Broads. We're getting our property search underway a short drive from the village of Loddon, which has schools to cater for both children, along with a post office and a beautiful 15th century church. With the Norfolk Broads on their doorstep, a boating life is definitely theirs for the taking. 1.5 miles away in the secluded hamlet of Heckingham Holes, we find our first house. Formerly 2 farmers' cottages dating back to 1830, now knocked into one and recently extended. Right, here we go. Property number 1, and this is it.
Wow.
I got my first wow, fantastic.
That's very
beautiful.
nice. It is lovely.
Fantastic setting as well.
Very nice.
Now, it's been added to over the years. You've got an extension that way, 1 here, and some conservatories.
Fantastic. Lovely.
The character exterior seems to have gone down well, and as they'll see, the inside continues the theme. In we come. Here we go. Well, first test passed. You're not bashing your head on the ceiling.
No, that's fine. That looks lovely there as well. With
Yes.
burning stove.
You like it?
Fantastic, yeah.
So,
I saw that,
I
yeah.
love the fact that it's open, so it leads obviously
Both
through to the
sides.
other room. Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think of this then as an entrance
This is
hallway?
lovely.
This is what
Fantastic.
you like, isn't it? Sort of thing, but character about it.
Very rustic. Lovely.
It's very rustic. But I want to start off with this side of the house, because obviously one of the things with this property, as you can see, it's all one property. So there's not a separate annex as such for Grandma. However, it's a big house.
Yeah.
There is lots of room. So let's start this way and talk about where Grandma might go.
Okay.
Through here, you have a family living area, as you can see. A lovely living room. What do you think?
It is nice.
Lovely. It's very cosy, isn't it? Very nice.
It is very nice. So I do like it. First impression is brilliant.
Through here, we've got another couple of rooms. So come through and have a look, because the way I see it, this is such a big house. Grandma could either have this whole area from
This
that
end
door,
of the door,
onwards,
so, yeah.
or you could keep this as a family room, and Grandma just has that little bit at the end. So come and have a look.
Somewhere to lock Grandma, is it?
So through here, what was the garage has become the study and a single bedroom.
Oh, right.
So my thoughts are this could therefore obviously be Grandma's bedroom, but clearly there's no bathroom here. So a bit of work for you if you wanted to give her her own bathroom facilities.
Possibly one, yeah.
I mean, this is just a stud
You could
wall.
take the wall out.
Take that down.
Yeah.
It's quite a fair
Make a
size
bigger room for
actually,
her.
you know.
So there is a possibility. You don't mind the
Definitely.
idea of her being integrated in the house.
Not at
No,
all.
that's
No.
ideal.
At
Yeah,
this
she
side.
comes in, this is her side. Let's see what the other side's like.
You're absolutely right. Let's see what the other side is like. You lead the way, Ian.
Okay.
Back across the hallway is the focal point for all three generations to congregate. Well, if that side of the house is for Grandma, this would be for everybody.
Fantastic. Lovely big kitchen, which is what you wanted, wasn't it? It was one of your
Beautiful,
main criteria.
yeah. Wood burning stove in the corner there.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other side of the stove from the hall,
From the
so you've
central
got that,
point.
that lovely feature still. And behind here, you do get a separate utility space, which is quite big
Right.
behind here. And I've got to say, there are two big conservatory areas out there.
Are there?
One sort of
Right.
open, one closed for dining. So if you're entertaining friends, if your sister's coming over, family coming down
Yeah.
from County Durham,
You're
lots
spoiled.
of space
It's
out
out
there.
there.
Spoiled for choice, actually. It's good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Very good. You
Yes.
can explore all of that on your own a little bit
Okay.
later. I want to show you the upstairs now.
Jolly good.
These downstairs rooms give them plenty of spacious, flexible living areas, which they can configure to suit their family. Upstairs, among the 4 bedrooms, is a self-contained retreat for them. Now up here, they call this an ensuite, but I think it's pretty big. This could almost be a bedroom on its own, couldn't it?
It almost could.
Superb.
I'm sure it could.
Like it?
I do.
Good, because
Very,
this
very
would be
nice.
the ensuite
For
to
this?
your bedroom.
Oh.
So this bedroom, next to that bathroom, gives you a master suite.
Yeah. Nice.
Very nice. It is. What I do love is the view out that window.
It's
Unbelievable.
spectacular. Just sitting or lying in bed, waking up in the morning, looking out of that,
out.
puts you in the right frame of mind, doesn't it, for the day?
It does.
Now, you have got 4 bedrooms up here, so there is obviously the option of Grandma being up here. The other 3 bedrooms are light, spacious doubles and are real blank canvases, and they all have the use of the modern family bathroom. This house certainly gives them ample living space to accommodate the needs of all the family, and outside offers them a very generous proposition. You'll get plenty of outside space and garden with this property. Not only do you get the acre that the house sits in and this space here, which comes with a few little friends. We've got our little Indian runners quacking beside us, but you also get an extra acre.
Of land.
Right here is a paddock.
Oh, the horses.
A couple of horses, which are negotiable. So we get sailing, you've got water,
Everything.
you're surrounded by water here, not that you'd sail there, but I tell you what you can do, the current owners are keen canoeists, and they rent the following 8 acres of land over there. Only costs them £200 a year. They grab the canoes and they trudge out to the
Really?
River Chet, and
Do it over there.
off they go
Yeah.
into Ludden, which is the local town. 15 minutes.
Fantastic.
Very
I
nice
can't believe it's
lifestyle.
got so much land.
But there's the vegetable patch as well, and all those sorts of things. And chickens, they do keep chickens here as
Yeah.
well.
Brilliant lifestyle, isn't it? Lovely.
It's all there for you to get stuck
Yeah.
into and develop.
It is.
And it
Fantastic.
comes at a price. So you've done a lot of research on the internet,
Some.
but here we are.
The land's thrown me somewhat, but I would say around 540.
Top of the budget.
And I think maybe it's a little bit higher. Maybe it's about 550, 560.
550, 560, so
Yeah.
really pushing
I think
into
it's
your extra budget for the
possibly,
dream
yeah.
home. Well, let me tell you how much this property would cost you. I think you'll find it very interesting. It's on the market at £520,000.
Under. So you're wrong.
Sounds good, sounds good.
And I was even wronger.
You're both wrong. You were closer, but most importantly, it's well within your budget.
It is.
Certainly is.
Tell you what, have a little wander around. I will see you when you've had a chance for it all to
Take it
sink
all
in a
in.
little bit. Okay?
Okay,
Off you go. Comfortably under budget at £520,000, our first property is a great opening gambit and addresses the many and varied demands of their wish list, giving them a huge family dining kitchen along with 3 further reception rooms. Upstairs provides 4 bedrooms, including a master ensuite. What's more, there's the potential for Julie's mum to have her own downstairs wing. And outside delivers them 2 acres of land, with the option of renting another 8 acres. So their dream of outdoor pursuits could certainly be a reality.
As soon as I walked in the door, I placed the Christmas tree next to the wood burner. I liked the feel of the place. I always had in mind where my mother would be living and where I would be living, and I think this house does give us the option of letting my mother have her own independent life, yet being close enough to us for company and to help each other.
The outside space of the house is absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's something that we hadn't actually asked for, far more than what I would have expected for that price.
Here we go. Good start, eh?
Certainly was.
But we're not done yet. There's a few more properties to see. Come on. Sitting either side of the River Bure, the twin villages of Wroxham and Houghton are widely regarded as the capital of the Broads, whose 125 miles of navigable inland waterways draw in 100,000 boating visitors a year, and in the past has included Ian and Julie. Indeed, spending more family time messing about in boats is key to their move. So we've arranged for them to have a sailing lesson from instructor Gina Hilton, who's a lifelong resident of the Broads. After donning their life jackets, it's time to hop aboard and gain some first-hand experience on these beautiful waters.
So let's get underway. This is a lovely broad to sail on because you've got a nice gentle area here where there's a lot of wildlife. You've got water lilies here. There's always a lot of grebes here breeding. It's nice and peaceful. Sailing is all practical. Now, it's important to know what the wind is actually doing.
I mean, I've done windsurfing and I sort of think, oh, is it the same idea as windsurfing? But
Well, sailing is sailing, you see, using the wind and you're using that angle.
As well as taking lessons, an easy way to get started as a family is to join a sailing club, where you can often try out dinghies or yachts and decide what suits best, whether it be for just cruising or racing. In Norfolk, the joining fee can be as little as £80, with an annual family membership costing around £110 more. But now it's time for Gina to test out their tacking technique.
OK, so let's do a ready about. So push the tiller away from you, Ian, all the way across, and the boat will go round.
Say when.
OK, do it now. Ready about, mind your heads, and change sides. Straighten the tiller up, Ian, into the middle. That's right, lovely. Excellent, well done. When you're tacking, you've got your 3 T's.
Okay.
Tacking tiller towards. That's it, ease your sail out a bit.
Gina's brought them out in her 1950s half-decker yacht, which, along with being a Broads classic, has a fixed keel and cannot capsize. A great family all-rounder would be a 15-foot Wayfarer dinghy, which could be picked up second-hand for a couple of £1,000, with around £1,000 in mooring fees and insurance to factor in. With their sailing ambitions in mind, we're staying near to the Broads. Our house hunt continues close to the village of Claxton, which means the school run is an achievable car drive, and the amenities of Loddon are just 4 miles away. The Grade 1 listed church with its distinctive napped flint facade is a real landmark, as is our second property, which lies to the south of the village. Well, property number 2, very different to the first. I bring you a barn conversion. This part, 300 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
That part, 100 years old, and your conversion was done about, well, in the 80s. So.
Looks great from the outside, looks fantastic.
But very impressive, actually. Very nice.
And with this property, what you will get is a very good space for Grandma.
Okay.
But come inside and have a look. We'll come to Grandma's living arrangements later, but first we'll get a sense of the main core of this property.
Straight through that huge entrance hallway. It is a barn conversion, so you get that full ceiling height there, which they've made the most of, and into a pretty big living room.
Fantastic lounge, isn't it?
Very nice.
Oh, taking it all in.
Yep.
Yes, your eyes are immediately drawn out there, aren't they?
Well, I said the last house was going to take some beating, but this, from first opinions walking through the door, it's very nice again. So.
The main window looks out onto a central courtyard, which is flanked on each side by 2 separate wings. One for them and the children, with the other providing an ideal retreat for Julie's mum.
So here we are. Not only would she get this room, there are 3 bedrooms at the back there and a bathroom already.
So do with it whatever she wants to do with it. It's almost like a separate annex, isn't it?
It is, but it is
Yeah.
connected, so
Yeah.
you've not got to leave the house to get here. It's certainly a good start. If
It
you're
is.
keeping Grandma happy, how can we keep the rest of the family happy?
Let's find out.
Come on.
Okay.
We'll retrace our steps towards the separate dining room before we reach the all-important kitchen.
Now, over this side of the house, there's a lot of space for the family. We've got obviously that dining room that you've just come through. That's a lovely
Good
big area.
size.
Other side of that door, we've got a little corridor leading to a downstairs cloakroom.
Okay.
And obviously, we're standing in a pretty sizable kitchen.
Yeah.
Lovely big kitchen, isn't it?
The layout's great, yeah.
This way, you've got a larder. That would be good for
Great.
cooking, obviously. But through there, you've got utility space. Actually, that's often used as the front door. There's a door to the outside, it's like a boot room. But the other side is the door to the double garage. And that doesn't house cars. They keep their boat in there. So, ideal.
So it must be a
Good
fair
idea.
size.
We're only a mile away from the river, yeah.
Okay.
So, it's given you a lot to think
It has
about,
actually,
hasn't
yeah,
it?
'cause I
You
thought you were gonna-
challenged us.
I did challenge you, yeah. You're getting there.
Let me show you the upstairs,
Okay.
and then we'll see the garden space.
Okay.
There's no doubt that the ground floor has a raft of rooms to accommodate all their needs. So we'll explore the 3 bedrooms upstairs, which all file off the landing.
Now up here you get another fabulous view of that courtyard, and this time it's from the master bedroom.
Fantastic view. Look at those windows. Oh,
Gorgeous,
brilliant.
isn't it? Yet again, you can keep an eye on Grandma.
Very good.
And it does come with an ensuite, which is just through there, so have a quick look. It's a shower room. It's a good-sized room, though. And I think, like a lot of this property, probably needs a bit of updating, but a chance for you to do as you will with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So up here, there are 2 more good-sized bedrooms, so 3 in total, plus another smaller room, which is being used as a sort of walk-in wardrobe at the moment. So plenty of family space.
Lots of potential.
Yes.
Lots of things to think
I
about.
think you're absolutely right. That's
There
what I
is.
think. Lots of potential with this property. Depends how creative you want to be, how much you want to put your stamp on something.
Ian and Julie's reactions to the interior have been encouraging. It's time to walk around the side of the barn and survey the property from the gardens, which amounts to half an acre.
The view from the back of your garden. There you go. You can take in the house in all of its glory.
Great views, aren't they? You see right across the fields.
That's right, you're elevated here.
You might have your vegetable patch up here, might you not?
I think my vegetable plot
Round
is
the
going
back.
around the other side of the house, and I think this is the sun terrace.
And as ever, it comes at a price.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Indeed. Who's going to go first and give me a
Difficult
number?
one. It hasn't got the land, but I think it has got more inside, so I'm going to go for about 540.
Okay.
I'm going to go a little bit less than I did last time. I'm probably going to go about 500.
500.
500.
That's a lot less than
It
Julie's
is.
guess. I can think Julie's been doing a bit more research than you
Oh,
have.
She did, actually. She did. Didn't you?
Because you win again. This is on the market at a guide price of £545,000.
Okay.
There is a lot to consider in this house, so go and think about what Jean might want and tell me about it later on. I'm going to put my feet up and enjoy the view.
Okay, thank you.
With a guide price of £545,000, the layout of our barn conversion is a great option for accommodating 3 generations. Along with 3 reception rooms boasting character features, the family can gather in the large kitchen diner. Furthermore, there's a whole wing which Julie's mum could claim as her own. And the half-acre plot is large enough for Julie to cultivate her vegetables. It's all set just a mile and a half away from the Broads.
This obviously is an older house and it has a lot more potential. I do like the annex that is part of the house, which gives Grandma a sort of her own defined space. So obviously we'd have to sort of think about that as to how we would actually lay that out. But I certainly wouldn't rule it out.
I think from the outside, it's a fantastic looking property. However, once I got inside the property, it just didn't give me that homely feel as much as the previous property did. Yes, there was great spaces for Grandma. Maybe it's just the fact that I need to think more about what I would do with the space and how I would put my own stamp on it, make it look like I wanted it to look.
There you are. So you've seen it all for today.
Yes.
Quite a lot to think about now.
A lot of potential and a lot to think about there is,
Yeah.
you're right.
It's growing on us, but whether it's growing enough, I don't know.
Well, you can sleep on it, and then we've got more for tomorrow.
Okay.
As evening falls over the Norfolk countryside, it marks the end of the first day of our property search. After a lifetime spent in County Durham, Ian and Julie have up to £580,000 to make the move to the Norfolk Broads with their 2 children and Grandma Jean. The 2 properties we've shown them so far have given Grandma good annex options. But coming up, our mystery house takes their search to a new level.
This is better than the kitchen she's got now.
And I learn more about a project that ensures Norfolk will keep its head above water for future generations.
What a wonderful start we had to our search yesterday. Ian and Julie loved the first house. They could see the potential with the second, but they're still struggling to work out how they'll balance their needs with the wants of Grandma Jean. Well, let's see if our mystery house can deliver. Well, today has to offer the mystery house, as you know. What would be the last thing you want to see?
A tiny cottage with a thatched roof with low ceilings.
Anything else? Very specific, I like it. And one of the main criteria for you has always been Grandma. How demanding is Grandma then? To be very exacting on what things have to be like?
Be honest.
Fairly exacting, yes, yes. Like mother, like daughter, I'm sure, Julie.
For our mystery property, we have to edge over the Suffolk border and away from their preferred location of the Broads. The nearest amenities are a 4-mile drive away in Halesworth, an attractive market town whose array of historic buildings house a range of shops and businesses. It also has reminders of its brewing past. Ian and Julie asked for a granny annex, but if they can accept the change in location, our mystery property could provide them with 2 totally distinct homes.
Open your eyes and have a look at the mystery. Oh, I've got silence. Is that good silence?
I like it. I really like it.
This house is special. We've taken you to Suffolk to bring you not just a space for Grandma, not just an annex for Grandma, but Grandma's very own little Grandma cottage.
Oh, all right.
Right there. So
Fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you look at the smiles there. Oh, this could
And I
work.
think that would work, yeah, because
Yeah.
I think that's what Grandma needs.
Her own
She
space.
definitely needs her own space.
Yep.
And we need Grandma in her own space as
Yeah.
well, I think,
I
yeah.
had a feeling you might say that. Come on, let's have a look inside and see how much space you get as well as Grandma.
This former barn is Grade 2 listed, and although the exterior retains its traditional pan-tiled roof and timber facade, the interior will fit with their modern tastes.
Right, come on through. Let's go straight into the kitchen. Know how important it is, and I think this one won't disappoint.
Definitely. Very
Fantastic.
nice. Very nice.
Lovely. Absolutely gorgeous.
Very nice. Very rustic.
Good start.
Really
Definitely.
good. More than a good start.
Well, let me just tell you a bit about what's at this end of the house then. You've got all this space here. Next door, you've got another room, which is being used as a bedroom. So it's got a double bed in there. Next door to that, you've got a wet room, so shower, downstairs loo, and a utility space, which is quite big, leading out into the courtyard. But that's also the connector into Grandma's cottage.
Right.
Grandma's
So
cottage.
she's attached.
She's attached if she wants to be.
Which is great, that's what
If
she
she
wants.
doesn't want to be,
No.
she can go through her own front door.
Right.
So I think we should go and have a look at that next.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
And Grandma's kitchen is equally as impressive as theirs.
Come through.
Ooh,
Look at this.
Grandma's.
Grandma gets almost as much space as you do.
Grandma would really like this.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with this. So I was worried that, yes, that house is fantastic. This might have just been a little add-on, but no, it's not, is it?
It's not just a little add-on.
Definitely.
So this door leads out to her own back courtyard, little space there, but that leads into yours.
Yeah.
She's got her own front door though, just through there, her own living room. There's a downstairs loo, so you didn't have to go upstairs, all very convenient. And upstairs, the space has a shower room and 2 bedrooms. So she can have guests over if you keep it configured that way, or you could open up the space and give her a huge
room.
master suite.
I think she'd love this, wouldn't she? Absolutely love it.
Yeah. I didn't expect to find as much as this. It's fantastic, it really is. Quite excited. Show me more.
Very excited. Again, this is the most... I know you like to think you're quite reserved, but I'm feeling this is the most excited you've been.
I am, yeah.
Let's see if we can set their hearts soaring as we take a peek at the central core of their living space.
Now, this is what you get with a barn conversion.
Fantastic space, isn't it? That's great.
You've given up on vocabulary now, haven't you?
I don't need to say it. It's absolutely...
Bit of a whistle.
Yeah.
Superb.
Superb.
I love it.
You've got all of this coming. Let's get into this space because there is so much of it. You get the ceiling height, the character, the beams, and I love the modern twists in here in the staircase.
That's what we like, the modern twist. Yeah, it's still retaining its
size of the
original
room,
character, isn't it? It's
The open, so big, isn't it?
light and airy as well.
It is.
And then you get even more space here. So you've got that as a separate study.
Yeah.
And then through there, you've got another downstairs cloakroom and a door leading out to the back courtyard. So bags of space, space all over the place. Where would you do Christmas?
Grandma's, I suppose. Grandma can do the cooking at Christmas.
Christmas dinner.
You'll all pile into Grandma's cottage.
Yeah, we're not going to be late, are we?
What a fantastic room this is for Christmas.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
The light, open tread staircase leads up to a galleried landing, off which are 3 bedrooms, all with their own quirks.
Now, before we look at the master, let's have a look at one of the children's potential rooms. You've spotted it. I think the kids would love
the
this.
kids, definitely, yeah. They'd fight over this one, though.
They might
Do you
even-
know what? They wouldn't have to.
No.
The other one is just the same.
Never, really.
Absolutely.
This is great. This is
Great.
great.
They've done it lovely, haven't they? They really have done it for the family when they've designed it for themselves. Superb the way they've done it. I know I've used too many good words today, but it's fantastic.
Hey,
I do
Ian,
love it.
I am never going to be upset with you for using good words about a
To
property
describe
that
it.
we show you. It's great if you feel that way.
I do. I think it's great.
Tucked away down this end of the landing is a light, bright family bathroom, which makes the most of those exposed rafters. But now, with the children and Granny taken care of, it only remains to get their verdict on the master.
Watch your heads. It's about the only time I'll have to say that to you, I think. But look at the drama in this room.
Really
it's
good.
fantastic.
Lovely, isn't it?
This would suit us, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
You get your own ensuite. And this is like your wing of the house.
It is. It's all.
Tucked right on this side, the children and Grandma.
Just love the
other end.
space, the big ceilings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Still like it.
Yes.
Still like it.
Happy, happy,
I'll
happy.
go for it.
So far, the mystery property has received nothing but praise from our couple. Whether they'll be as pleased by what's outside remains to be seen.
So, half an acre.
Yeah.
That's the total plot here. And Ian, plenty of work for you to get on with.
Yep, we'd manage that, I think, no problem.
Yeah.
And as well as all of the space in the house and Grandma's cottage, you also get this fantastic garage.
Which you can keep all kinds in, can't you?
Well, you can
shed.
certainly keep not one boat, but probably one for each of you in there. It's huge.
Yeah.
I can see you scratching your head. How much
my
is this
sons,
going to cost
yep.
me? So I'm going to start with you.
Oh, don't do that.
Yes,
This is
I'm
the bit I was
gonna do it.
dreading, so I'm going to say about 600,000, but I still think that might not be enough. That's my guess.
Bit of a guess, 575.
575. Your wife does it again. This time, she is spot on.
Yeah.
You've got better and better, Julie.
Fantastic.
Well, you're right. It's on at
Brilliant.
575, which means,
It's within budget.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I usually say there's lots to think about, but I think there's just lots to explore and have fun
Yes,
with.
there
yeah.
is, definitely.
Yeah, go do that. Have some
Okay.
fun, think about it, and we'll chat later on. Go on.
Okay, thank you.
Wow, in spite of moving the location goalposts away from the Broads and into Suffolk, they seem smitten by our mystery house. Under budget at £575,000, this character barn conversion is in keeping with their own decorative tastes and serves up a huge high-spec home with 3 bedrooms, including that spectacular master. The highlight is that Grandma gets her own separate dwelling, and it's all wrapped up on a half-acre plot.
My first impressions of the mystery house were that I actually loved it. The house itself, even though it's open plan with all the rooms, there's lots of space, and you're not going to be tripping over each other as well, which will be important for people to adjust to living together. And I think this mystery house fulfills all that criteria.
The best thing about this house is that it's ideal for Grandma. She is half the equation and she's very well catered for here. I know she'd love it here and it's ideal. It gives me the chance to keep an eye on her, look after her, but it gives her total independence. Superb little cottage on the side for her and yeah, fantastic property for us as well.
Well, that's it. Goodbye to the mystery house. We've seen 3 properties. Plenty for the 2 of you to think about. Yeah,
There is.
Well, let's find somewhere for you to sit and then we'll have a chat afterwards.
Okay.
The Norfolk Broads are not just a water lover's paradise. They are home to one of the most diverse ecosystems found anywhere in the UK. But the Broads are a fragile habitat and under constant threat from the sea. The Environment Agency is currently halfway through a 20-year scheme called the Broadland Flood Alleviation Project, whose mission is to protect this magical environment for years to come. I've come to Acle to find out more from its project manager, Paul Mitchellmore.
Good morning, Paul.
Hello, Denise.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
What's the purpose of this project?
Well, the river system here is connected to the sea, so the rivers are tidal. There are fairly strong tidal currents. The water level goes up and down sort of twice a day as a sort of consequence of that. There's also a lot of boat use. All the rivers are navigable, so there's a fair amount of boat wash as well, which potentially could wash the riverbanks away. So what we're trying to do is relocating the banks so that we can deal with the erosive effects of the river more effectively and more sustainably. We are reconstructing the banks 20 or 30 metres inland. That enables us to promote sort of vegetation growth in the area between the new bank position and the edge of the river. We're then able to dispense with the steel sheet piling, the timber piling that we have there that provides this sort of hard protection.
Is it much more natural, the defences that you're
Well, it is,
organic?
yes, it is. It is sort of working with nature, very much so. This is an area of national park status, and there are also nature conservation benefits as well, because we promote the growth of reed beds, and that really helps contribute to the biodiversity of the area.
Besides protecting the rich habitat that thrives within this huge area of Broadland, the miles of flood banks also ensure that over 1,000 residential properties stay above water. The riverbanks are being made wider and taller by at least a metre. And giving the diggers a steer on the right measurements is Kevin Percival, who's setting out the level of the new flood bank.
Hello there, you must be Kevin.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Denise.
I'm all kitted out now that
Good.
I'm on site, but what are you up to? What's this bit of kit?
OK, well, this is satellite GPS. We use it to basically mark out levels and points where we do our work. It tells us exactly where we are within about 15 to 20 millimetres.
So, I presume we're not high enough here yet.
That's right.
Where do we need to be on this post?
Well, approximately about here. So
OK.
There's quite a bit to go on there, just over a metre.
Quite a lot to pile on here.
Yes, yeah.
OK, what can I do to help?
OK, well, if you could help me put in one of these pegs, which
Right.
we'll put at the right level. Take the white one.
Fine. OK.
That's right. And OK, if you just put it in just somewhere around here.
Right here?
Yeah, just there.
And then what?
That's it.
Just bash it?
Yeah, if you start hitting it down into the ground. And what I'll do, it's all right, and I'll just checking it every now and again. I think that way might be about right. Yeah.
Yeah?
That's about right.
So, when our friends the diggers come in.
That's right, yeah, the diggers will come along, they'll start building it, and
Start building
now
up
they
to
know
this
their
level?
level. Yes.
Thanks very much. Come on.
With sea levels at nearby Great Yarmouth predicted to rise by around 6 millimetres a year, this project is protecting an immensely important swathe of countryside, which otherwise, over time, would be lost to the sea.
Well, there we go. 2 days, 3 great houses, but I suspect one very confused couple. So let's find out what they've decided. Well, it's been a great 2 days with the two of you. We started with a cottage, 2 cottages converted, had a lot of space.
Yeah. Looking at it, it looked very homely, lovely inside, very well done out. And then once we stepped into the back garden and the space outside, we were sort of blown away with the space there.
Well, that was a big surprise because that wasn't on your wish list. So in a decent-sized garden is what you'd asked for. There you got 2 acres. Yeah. How did that skew things for you?
Loved it. I mean, honestly, it was like an added bonus, and it was just a lot extra for us to think about. But the whole house did have a bit of a wow factor.
Yeah. I've got to say, I think the reaction from the two of you was really great in that first house. Yeah. So there's definitely an emotional tug there, which I didn't find with the second property.
Yeah. From the outside, it looked good. It had the curb appeal, and the road leading up to it and the fields around looked fantastic. Going inside the property, I just didn't get that homely feel.
In its favour, it was a lovely setting. It could have even been the nicest of the 3 for the setting and the location of it and the drive into it. But I think out of the 3, probably that was my least favourite.
So the mystery house then, as ever, to take you out of your comfort zone. So we took you out of the county, into Suffolk, a little bit closer to your sister.
Yeah.
Or 2 houses, really. You got the cottage for Grandma.
Yeah. That was it. I mean, you walk inside and it did have a wow factor. And the fact that my mum would have her own house within a house, basically, that was what pulled me on that one.
I love the house. But I think you realise I loved it from the moment we saw it, and it's ready to move into. And it's fantastic. There'll be nothing to do to it other than change, the decor the way we like it. So number 3 is a strong contender as well.
So you're more passionate about number 3. I'm getting definite emotions from Ian. From my point of view, I see it that your choices are really very much tied in with how you want to live with Grandma.
That's right, yeah.
And the rest of the family.
Yeah.
So where are you now with that?
I think if it was our choice, it would be number 1.
Ah.
The family on its own would be number 1. Yeah.
For you too?
But yeah, for us and the kids. But with my mother involved, that throws house number 3 into the equation.
So I think Grandma's choice would be number 3. So what I think we should do is come back with Grandma and look at number 1 and 3.
It's been a real pleasure. I'm so pleased. This is a highlight for me. Not 1, but 2 properties. I want to know very soon which one you've gone for.
Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you.
This move was always about so much more than a lifestyle change for Ian and Julie. Yes, they wanted to be closer to the water, but what they really wanted was to be much closer to Grandma Jean. And although she wasn't actually with us on this search, I certainly felt her presence. One thing is for sure, whichever property they go for, be it the first or our mystery house, they are just that one step closer to making their escape to the country. I'll see you next time. After going home and talking to Grandma, Ian and Julie are very interested in putting an offer in on House 1, but they're waiting to sell their property first. If you would like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and would like our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/beonashow.